Hello, guys. Welcome to the Teams Show, the final Teams Show for round 24 here on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. It is Friday, the 23rd of August, 2024. Not only is this the final team show for round 24, we don't know if this will be the final team show of season 2024. We hope it won't be, but it's just the unknown. It's do or die at the moment. It's good to have you here. Friday afternoon, it's 4 p.m. We're going to go through a bit today. I've got an update for you on the Charlie Curnow signed Guernsey. We're going to watch Michael Voss's press conference together. I haven't watched it yet. We're going to talk about the teams. We've got Charlie Curnow news, Sam Doherty news, and then we'll just have a bit of a chit chat amongst ourselves. And then at 5 p.m. in 1 hour from right now, we are going to see the final teams. We're going to get a bit of closure. Although, I mean, in theory, they could name teams tonight and then still make changes moments before the game. But whatever. We will see. Jesselli, hello. Gokhan, Matt Lang, Kate, hello. Jeff got his pins. Fantastic. That's great news. Spreading the BA love all around New Zealand. Jojo and Bailey. Patrick is here. Chills. Hello, mate. Dione. Richard. Hey, mate. Terrence. A lot of people think my name is Terrence and Terry short for Terrence, but it's just Terry. Damien. Hey, mate. Sandra. Taylor. Voss was so sassy in his presser and I loved it. All right. I haven't listened to it. Going to do that shortly. We might do that off the top. I'm very excited to see what happened. Chichio, Dan, Aiden, mate, what's the update? Do we have an update on work situation? Did manager call? Did manager replace shift? Do we all need to go into your workplace tomorrow and let him know? Hello, Yasmin. Hello, Natty. Sandra had a dream of a huge party in Largon Street, won the flag. Well, that's confirmed. Hey, Luca, Maz, Frank, got Ben. Ben, mate, making the trip to Melbourne just for round 24. Excited for you, mate. Eleanor, got the J-Man. Stephen, knocked off work at the perfect time. You did, mate. This is going to be a great, great show. Mark, Julian, hey, Dino. Aiden, are you just Greek? Yeah, I am Greek. My surname is actually Persian. When my mum married my dad or my stepdad, but I call him my dad, we changed our last names to his last name. So I think that's where the confusion comes from, because Dagani is an Iranian surname. But I am Greek. Smigoff, Jason, Debbie, your stomach started tuning yesterday and it's getting worse by the hour. Hey, I've got to say, yesterday's team show had a bit of magic to it. I don't know if the rest of you felt it. Maybe, I don't know. I felt something collectively shift in yesterday's team show. I was really, I don't know, I got a real boost from the show. I don't know if it was because the reality's kicking in. It might have been one of the last few shows for the year. There's that unknown of what happens on Sunday. I don't know if it was the excitement of seeing Charlie and Saad and some of these names in. I don't know if it was just the do or die attitude starting to creep out, but I felt something from the show yesterday that got me really back to being fully excited. I think I've had a couple of weeks where I've been a little unsure of what to believe or how to believe. So credit to everyone that was here yesterday. Sandra, no Charlie, Carl's. Robbie, g'day, mate. Have a vino in the garage. You're having a vino in the garage watching BA. Love that. Rocky Zingini. Hello, mate. Hello, Pops. Aiden, you're going to work tomorrow to talk with him because my mate hasn't gotten back to him yet about doing my shift, although he's down to do it, inshallah. Mate, you're cutting it fine. Lou Felino's here. GM can't focus. Ben, you stopped by Icon Park, hoping to see Gov training, but no luck. Yasmin, got work off on Sunday, so going to be at Marvel with my brother for the first time in years. Oh yeah, speaking of, all those tickets have been filled. So thank you very much to Michelle. Thank you very much to Cameron. Is there anyone else that needs to give away tickets? Oh, I'd rather not be doing it after today, but if we need to put bums on seats, and we'll do it. Just got a ticket for the signed Curnow Guernsey. Oh yeah, okay. So I've decided. I know Charlie's not playing, but I'm gonna. This is what we're gonna do. This is a signed Charlie Curnow Guernsey. It's a player edition. You all saw it yesterday. I haven't done any public social media marketing for it. So only those of you who watched yesterday and who are watching right now will know about this for now. Going to raffle it off. $5 for a ticket. The link is in the live chat. It's pinned to the top. And you know when we're going to draw out the winner? Our next game, when Charlie's playing. That's how we're going to do this. Because we're not losing on Sunday. We have to bring that. And if we do, we'll deal with it then. But I'm not dealing with plan B. I'm dealing with plan A. So signed Charlie Curnow Guernsey. You'll see it says, thanks for the support. Charlie Curnow's there. You'll see the player issued version of it here. So that's what we're going to do. So you've got 2 weeks. Really, you've got 2 weeks. Get as many tickets as you like. $5 for a ticket. We're going to spin the wheel. We're going to get this to someone in the team's show, in the next team show. That's what we're going to do, because this is not the final one. And that's the bottom line. That's all I got for you. So there you go. Final teams, 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Maz, you felt that? Great. Okay, great. There was just something about you all picking everyone up, people being honest about their feelings, about the anxiety, and, just knowing that you have to be there. I think recollecting the Raw from the semi-final kind of just gave us a little glimpse into what to hopefully expect on Sunday if we get the job done. This club and us as supporters, we're meant to be in finals. This is what we want. I know it's frustrating. We shouldn't be in this position, etc. But we are. So we'll have all off season to stew on it if we don't make it. But for now, we're alive. So that's why I thought it was a really nice part of yesterday's show. Just make the most of the moment. Enjoy life. If we learn anything from this week, life's way too short. That's true. That's true. Richard, you felt good. Sick before Eagles, but this one I'm calm. I'm not calm. I am extremely stressed. I'm everything. I'm fearful. I'm confident. But, we're here. Eleanor, you've been waiting all day for this episode. Sad to hear Charlie's not playing, but glad Sardi's okay. Hope Gov pulls up okay. Yes. Yes. We're going to watch Voss's press conference from earlier today. And we're going to get all the information. If you have watched it, then, we're going to watch it again, but we'll unpack it. Slobbo, your Insta channel is popping off. Yeah, mate, I gave you the follow. Mate. Bailey, yeah, like I said, all of the above. I am nervous. We are all nervous. We should be nervous. But we can't sit there in silence and just let it all go and let it just watch it and wait for it to happen. Johnny Holden, if there's anybody that has an early 2016, 17, 18, 19 Indigenous Guernsey, any size for sale, hit me up. I collect jerseys. I have around 35 different Carlton Football Club jerseys. Can confirm one of the best collections of Carlton memorabilia. I mean, if you were on the fan cams a few weeks ago, you would have seen John Holden show us the room. Incredible. So yes, get in touch. Maybe we could do something like that in the off season, like I don't know, auction of some sort for people that want to buy or sell, or some sort of live marketplace where people can who collect this stuff. I don't know if that would be of interest. I don't even know if that's a thing. But anyway, unhealthy levels of stress. Yeah, it's good. Let's support these boys with all we've got, because even if we go down, it's not all over. These boys need to know we're stronger together. Yeah, amen. Chris, you held off Watching the presser as you enjoy watching it, sharing it. All right, let's do it. I'm excited. I honestly don't watch pressers until here. I sometimes see a clip of them on Instagram, but I try not to tune in so we can unpack it here live. So let's do it.
We've got some good news on the injury front. Those boys.
I'll read out the questions as they go. The first one here is good news on the injury front.
Who's going to be right to play?
Who's going to be right to play? Well, straight off the bat.
I'll start with the bad news. Charlie's not playing, so that's the not so great news. We sort of thought that he might be able to pull up pretty well from some of the things that he did the other day, but hasn't pulled up as well as what we expected. So we'll just make that call now, and obviously it gives us an opportunity to be able to lock in on what our forward mix is going to be. So obviously banking in that he can get the job done a couple of times in a row.
Do you feel like that injury is one that he'd get over in time after the pre-finals bye, like to be right in 2 weeks' time?
Yeah, we think so. I mean, look, the
question was, do you think he would be right after the pre-finals bye? Should we make it?
Something that he's obviously had to manage for a little while, but just feel like we just need to give it that little extra settle so it can settle down a little bit more. But that'll be 3-4 weeks, after his last incident. So feel pretty confident that obviously the best case scenario getting through and playing, that he'll be fit and available.
Adam Saad, was that hamstring tightness against Hawks? It wasn't an actual strain? Or?
Yeah.
Adam Saad, was that hamstring tightness as opposed to a strain?
And no, he'll play. Obviously there's varying degrees of hamstring.
Just quietly, well, very loudly, look at this definition in his delts, mate. Look at this. Look at this, mate. He's in shape.
Injuries, so we had a very, very low grade if we were really pushed, we probably could have done something last week. But obviously we chose not to do that, given the flight over to Perth as well as a factor. So he came pretty close last week, which gives us a fair bit of confidence that he's going to be right this week, so he'll be right to play.
Is it still a bit of a roll of the dice given his injury history and only missing the one game? Or?
No.
Is it a risk with Saad given his injury history, and are you rolling the dice with him?
No. Pretty confident he's good to go. Yep.
With Charlie out, do you think you'll still play Brody Kemp in attack?
Do you think you'll still play Brody Kemp in attack?
Well, there's a little bit of surprise. I think after you kick 4, I can confirm that you'll probably end up forward. Yeah. So, I would have thought that I'm not providing any surprises to the opposition there, but he did a great job last week. Obviously we were able to bank on a number of guys being able to hit the scoreboard. They were able to share the load throughout that period of time, throughout the entire game. I felt like our forwards were fantastic last week with the way they approached it. We've got a different task again. When you look at the personnel that St Kilda have got down there.
Is it just me, or is he talking like he's going to play this week? As in, Voss is going to play this week. He's very up and about.
Are a hard team to score against. But look, I think the energy down there that the forwards were able to bring last week was just a real buy-in to the team and a real buy-in to bringing pressure on the ball. And, if we can bring that effort and intensity and, bring a little bit of that system and role to this game, then we'll go a long way to helping us win.
I know it's a next man up mentality you always speak about, but did the result on the weekend just probably reinforce that more than anything, that it really is system-based?
Did the result on the weekend reinforce the next man up mentality?
You can go over there and get it done with the amount of outs that you had.
With the amount of outs that you've got?
Yeah, I think, look, our game's always based on first and foremost effort. And, you hear us talk about pressure all the time, but without it, the system doesn't operate, doesn't roll. And then there's the roles that we need players to play and the energy, and that's the simplicity that we wanted to bring to the game, and it'll be a simplicity that we're bringing to this game as well. It's all about effort and system, and then your role within it, and it can be as simple as that.
How about Mitch? Is he okay to go?
Yeah, he's
Mitch, is he okay to go?
got to get through a couple of things today, so he won't do as much as the others, obviously. So he obviously played last week, so we'll give him every opportunity to be able to get up. So his sort of schedule will run a little bit different to everyone else.
Talk about the energy that your forward line had last week, but how impressed were you with those younger boys who did come into the side as well?
How impressed were you with the young boys that came into the side?
I was so proud of them. I was just really proud of the whole team, to be honest with you. The attention to detail they put into their jobs, and the real energy they brought for each other. I thought it was our best team performance of the year, and probably for quite some time. The way that they were able to give the attention and detail to the jobs we assigned them was exceptional. And we're going to ask the same. We're going to ask for us to be able to double down in that area, to be able to get that job done and just put a heap of excitement in behind it. And it's funny when you're there for each other, what it sort of emerges, and it looked like they grew in confidence across the whole day. And but that's the game over there, and we've got to restart, and we've got a different opponent and a different round of playing, and hopefully we can lock in and get the same roles done.
I know you'd be reluctant to look ahead to finals if you are to make it, but there was a report this week, Sam Docherty's pushing really hard to try and come back to the first week of finals. What are those conversations look like?
What are the conversations around Sam Docherty playing potentially in finals?
Just that he's progressing really well. He's joining in main training. You'll probably see him running around out there again today. He's progressing really well. He knocks on my door every single day. I tell him to go away until next week, and we'll see where it goes from there. But it's been hard to sort of, he's been off doing his rehab and getting himself right. And so I've just sort of said to him, I said, mate, when the knock on the door comes, if it comes, and you say you're ready, well, we can look at it then. But until then, I've sort of been focused on what the boys have got, the job we need to be able to get. And I'll tell you what, if that opportunity exists, then so be it. But I'd love to be able to give him that opportunity if he is ready, because it means obviously we're playing finals.
What sort of lift has that given? Just the fact that he's in a position to train with the main group, he's knocking on your door. I imagine for players around, especially when you have had other players dropping like flies.
What does the Docherty situation do for the group in terms of motivation? Does it give them a lift?
Injuries to see him back in contention.
It's actually quite annoying. It's actually quite annoying. But we love him. We absolutely love him. Look, he's provided a great fresh bit of energy, and he's absolutely committed to try and just give himself the best opportunity. I couldn't sit here and say what that looks like right now. I really can't, because there's just so many variables that come into that. We've got to reintroduce guys back into the team that have been out for long periods of time. There's just so many factors that go into that decision, and all you'll make sure that everyone knows that all those variables will be considered very, very seriously. It won't be just sort of something that we roll out. He's been part of a lengthy rehab program, and we need to respect that. But all those sort of risks, if you want to call it, will be managed, both for him and the team. And we'll go from there. But, as you can imagine, probably the next, 48 hours, 72 hours, probably more what I'm concentrating on, more so than what happens next week.
How do you manufacture that sort of enthusiasm from last week? A lot of guys are playing their first games. A lot of guys are coming back from a long way out, because you can't just play your first game twice.
How do you sort of manufacture that enthusiasm with new guys coming in, etc.?
No, I embrace the moment for what it is. This is a really great opportunity at the back end of the season to figure in something, and it has either a consequence or an opportunity. And for us, that's just an extremely exciting game to play in. And the one unique thing we get at Carlton is we get crowds, and we get to play in big games. I'd like to think that over a last period of time, we've been able to thrive in those and look forward to those moments, to be able to play in front of our supporters, in front of those crowds. So it's no different for us. Obviously, the prize is a little bit different. I'll run through my ladder predictor. I think we can still finish fourth. So
that is great. That is a great piece of commentary right there.
That's the angle I'm taking, at least anyway.
How do you pick fourth?
Like, he's literally one of us. That's fantastic right there.
Oh, well, if Brisbane lose, Geelong lose, Western Bulldogs lose, and who's the other one? That's Hawthorn lose, we can finish fourth. So I'm going with that one. So
that might be the best thing we've watched from a presser all year.
I know it's not now, but have you got your head in the acquisition space yet in terms of that trade period? Everything seems to be bubbling up. You linked to Dan Houston, you linked to all these different players. How much of your brain power do you reserve for that part of the?
How much brain power do you reserve for the trade talk, Houston, etc.?
Oh, they're ongoing. That happens in the background, though. There's the performance, and then there's the planning, and of course, with all those sorts of discussions, whether that's guys that involve us or people that we're talking to or talking about, that always goes on in the background. But that's not really something that I tend to focus on at this point in time. We've obviously got a list management committee. Nick runs that. We've got our football manager, Brad Lloyd, runs that. And so let them do the work on that. And it gives us the ability to be able to focus on the performance in front of us. So, like I said, the most important thing that happens right now is our next game, and that's where our focus will lie.
How do you assess the Saints? And is there a player you sort of would put more energy into, such as Cal Wilkie?
How do you assess the Saints? Is there a player that you put more energy into, such as Cal Wilkie?
Yeah, they've been, obviously started their season really slow, but their most recent form line has been really strong. They've been fairly settled. Clearly there's some things in their game. They're certainly resembling what they were last year. So they've been more consistent in the way they've been able to do that. So, yeah, there's a challenge in front of us. They're pretty stable down back, and we sort of know the threats that are down there. But, their transition and their speed on the ball from back half is obviously clearly something that is a real strength of theirs. So, look, we want to obviously get as many opportunities as we possibly can to be able to test that, but it's going to be a pretty key part of the game.
Back on the injury front, I mean, Corey Durden, how confident are you that he can?
Yeah.
Corey Durden, what's the story?
Yeah, we're pretty confident actually, and everything's about function for him, and probably a bit of the pain side of things. He's come out of the game pretty well. Seems like his strength indicators are pretty strong. So, look, we have to probably accept there is an element of risk clearly within that, but he seems pretty confident. So he gets through training today. He's finally trained on Tuesday, so that sort of shows you where he's at, and he'll train out here again today. So we'll have to put him through his paces before we can confirm that selection. But all going well, he'll be part of the team.
And also on a broader sort of philosophical front in terms of selection with the risk reward, given a lot of the guys coming in off injury, how do you sort of balance, picking the star players who might be carrying something as opposed to going in with, guys?
It's an interesting question. He's asking about the philosophical balance between picking the star players who are coming back from injury and guys who are filling a role.
Who completely don't have the injury issue.
Yeah, well, I think what we try to put out there is the team that's fit and healthy to get the job done. It's certainly the principle we took last week, which is the opportunity that was afforded to the younger players to be able to come into the team, and we'd like to think we can reward that again, and they can bring the same amount of energy that they had last week. And as I said, I don't think they'll be by themselves. I think we've got a team and a club and a group of supporters that will bring that energy in the stadium as well, and that's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to that opportunity, and this game is we live somewhere between consequence and opportunity, and that's the thing about high performance sport and where you sit in the competition. But that's a privilege to be in. That's not something to shy away from. That's something to step into, and that's what we'll do.
Might be a weird one, but are you looking forward sort of to Brownlow medal night? Looks like it might be Cripps v Dacos for Charlie this year. They look like.
Okay, interesting question. Are you looking forward to Brownlow medal night? It looks like it's going to be Cripps versus Dacos.
They're about 3 votes apart on predictions.
Yeah. Yeah, so if I was putting my money somewhere, where would I put it? It's like, I'm not allowed to bet though.
Stay
But
away from AFL.
yeah, stay away from that. I would first and foremost. But look, I can't talk about the competition wide. I can't talk about Cripps' season, and he's been fantastic. Regardless of his performances, his leadership has been unbelievable over the course of the last 12 months. And so if he gets that reward, then so be it. Obviously we'd be extremely proud. We take a lot of pride in the fact that we celebrate people's successes. And when they come their way, and I know where Cripps' intention is, and right now it's not the Brownlow. It's trying to figure some other things and some important games coming up.
Yes, Sam Walsh tracking at the moment because he's the last 6 or 7 games really haven't been at his high level.
So asking about Sam Walsh, comparing him in his last 6 or 7 games and not having been at his level.
Yeah, probably hasn't been at the high level that he's had. I really liked his game from last week though. I felt like he really got after some things in his game, and brought some of that real run that we need. So some of it's a little bit of patience and persistence to be able to work through his game, and Sam Walsh is a terrific player, and we probably benchmark him off some pretty high standards, and that's what we've come used to seeing. You don't always meet those, which can be for him not exactly where he wants to be, but I know he's a really important player for us.
Orazio, okay?
Orazio Fantasia.
Oh yeah, he's good. Yeah. So he's fit and healthy and available. So again, we've probably got to use this training session to to get through before we actually finalise the team itself. But no, we're looking forward to it.
Wow. Okay. There's a lot going on there. What did you make of that? I like the honesty, personally, to be honest. I felt like it was like a release of tension, even though it's one of the most tense weeks that we've had all year. What did you think of it? Walter's getting deleted. Mate, Walter, mate, what a fucking sad guy. Seriously. What are you doing, bro? Anyway, you don't think Orazio plays by that answer? Doesn't take any shit. It was brilliant. We're finishing fourth. I couldn't believe he mentioned the predictor. That is just great. That was good. We're gonna do the predictor later. Energy seemed great. Less robotic than previous presses. He knows it's do or die. Yeah. Walter needs to go away and cook some meth. Walter can hang out. I don't mind Walter being here. But, I mean, he just comes in here and he's just disrespectful. Like, come and hang out. We have lots of opposition fans. Just don't be a dickhead. Finish fourth. Has Fantasia played any VFL? That's a good question, Deb. I think he played in the first quarter the week we played Port, maybe? That's when he did his calf or calf tightness, whatever it was. Best presser of all year. He's been watching BA Ladder Predictor. Maybe. Is it just me? He did extreme. He see, I thought he seemed like excited, genuinely excited. I'm glad that they haven't taken the route that we did, and that's just being all down in the dumps about what was and what could have been. I mean, you got to go for it. It's brilliant. This season, I wouldn't be surprised with fourth. I mean, we'll touch on it, but like the rescheduling of the games, like it's already started, the drama. Carl's, if you talk the talk, you got to walk the walk, I hope. If we win, I'm shaving my head. All proceeds go towards the BA shop. Oh, Aiden. Shaving your head. When? Like on the fan cams? Do we need to organize it? Fantasia's not match fit. Do I ever smash some KFC? Oh, rarely. I don't hate KFC, but I don't smash it. Paul Sebastiani, evening crew. Hope all is well. Marvel is going to be raucous on Sunday. Everyone on edge. Paul, who was it? Was it someone in the live chat yesterday? Was it Pommy? Someone mentioned our Carlton People episode, and you and I chatted about this. We need to do part 2. But yeah, it came up yesterday randomly. A very, very, very long time ago. It was 5 years ago now. Or 4. I hope the team players like Voss answer those questions. Composed, calm, confident, and excited. Well, I hope the fans match that. That's what I hope. Richard, you need some BA golf balls. I can make it happen. To be honest, I did make it happen. Spoke to Pommy, and he said for those who actually take their golf relatively seriously, like they're not very good quality ball. So I took them down. But there are ping pong balls, which you can do anything with. Yeah, it's infectious. That energy is what we want inside the 4 walls. Yeah. It gives me the feel that we've won the war. Am I going to the game? Mate. It's a where were you moment on Sunday. We'll be talking about Sunday's game because the loss is the loss. We'll be upset, we'll cry about it. We'll sit here, hope that Freo lose on the fan cams while we're watching. But if we win, we'll put so much mayo on it. It'll go down in history as one of the great wins. It'll be up there with Port Adelaide 2013. Everything on the line. You got injuries. Charlie and Harry are out. The way we'll talk about this game, oh, so good. They'll hate us, everyone, and I love it. It's got real potential. I really do believe it's one of those critical games in the, in the story of us. And to be honest, I'm sick and tired of doing these critical games and then coming here on the fan cams and we're morbid because there's too many memories like that. Want Sunday to be just pure excitement and emotion because then we'll start hoping even more and then we'll get healthy players back and then all of a sudden the team that's playing is going to have an advantage because we've got a fresh or a more fresh team. Anyway, we can dare to dream after Sunday, hopefully. I hope we pack out Marvel. We will. We'll pack out Marvel. I'm hoping Gov will play. I reckon they'll name him for sure and then give him until the very end. We need 55k gorillas in the house to turn Marvel into a zoo. If there's less than 40, honestly, if there's less than 48, I'll be angry. Dr. Banter, you wouldn't risk injury-prone players on this game. It's going to be a running game. Don't need a few on the bench. That's true. How many games have we won at Marvel this season? That is a great question. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I'll take a look now. You got me curious. I'm going to guess that I'm going to guess at least 4. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Okay, there's 4. Yeah. 4. We've won 4 games at Marvel. 2 of them against North Melbourne. Good question. Jocked, I'm a Collingwood supporter to say I love your content. I'm just a footy nuffy. What can I say? Keep up the grind. That's the second Collingwood supporter to send such a message through this week. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Seeing opposition fans can be here. Can you pay for my flights and tickets and sit next to me at the game? Slobbo, you're on the big bucks, mate. Come on. Carlton people had hair back then. High Street, local bean cafe. We had our lives ahead of us in our second flag. True. Just win, baby. You want a BA tennis racket? You can do BA anythings. Anythings. I'm taking the ping pong balls to Thailand. I'm going to perform as the white whale. I don't know why I said that. It's got serious non-Blues fans whining about umpire vibes. Oh, yeah, already. If you don't go to the game, Aiden, I'll be the first to tell you. You won't look at the single score. Oh, wow. Okay. Deal. Although you'll know it. Just read my face. Sell ping pong balls for bucks nights. I've seen amazing things done with it. I've seen some wacky things done with ping pong balls too. Yeah. Anthony, we should have made Charlie a laid out instead of declaring that he isn't playing now, as it would have messed up the Saints' plans. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can. I think you can't win in this situation. I mean, I think they're just being open and transparent that he's not available instead of fooling around. On the other hand, you could say, yeah, could be mind games. Okay, so as a supporter, it's a general question to everyone watching. Do you prefer the open transparency that Charlie's not playing? You're happy to know right now, or would you have preferred to have done what Anthony suggested and to name him and then have a laid out? Like, what would you have preferred? I feel like if Charlie's a laid out and they name him tonight, it just brings an unnecessary addition of angst to Sunday. Like if they knew, they knew. Can we get BA laptops? We can get BA laptop covers. We can do that. You get great coaches after you get great coaches, you get great players. Or you have a great organization and you tell them one thing, just win, baby. Yes, sir. We need BA sticky phone wallet things like the rubber wallet that sticks on your phone. Oh, you mean like that? With card holders? That's not a bad idea. I've got this one, generic brand, and I fit like 2 or 3 cards. I've got my Mikey. I guess in theory you could put your Carlton membership in there. Could be onto something. Imagine if it's mind games. He's a lady. Well, he would need to be named as an emergency tonight. When are we getting the blue abroad flag? Okay, I might need to do some research here. See what you guys want. Hey, for those of you who have tuned in and you're wondering about the link at the top of the live chat, doing a raffle, a signed, match-worn Charlie Curnow Guernsey. This was gifted to the channel by Howard from Berwick Toyota. Really, really nice gesture. And so, yeah, it's got a little bit of a dirt mark here on the zero. We're going to raffle it off. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw it out on the next installment of this team show, because we are going to have another installment of this show. This is not the last one. We're not claiming that. We're not accepting that. So, I mean, if we need to draw it out earlier in another way, we will. But the point is, we're going to draw this out. I'm going to give out this Guernsey when Charlie is named in the next game that we play. So, there you go. Dione, you liked the Charlie honesty. Our team needs to know who's in and get our heads right. I like it. Hunter, you prefer the transparency because it was within the confidence and energy of that presser. You prefer it open. Paul, if Charlie is laid out the stadium, will become flat. Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that. If it's a Carlton home game, why are we playing at Marvel, not the MCG? Well, this is the difference between us going and not going, because the new deal will come in, and hopefully from now on, that last game is at the MCG. It's just we're a slave to the current deal or the previous deal. The next deal comes out. It's from next year, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully we get, one less Marvel game and one more MCG home game. Fingers crossed. Rip the Band-Aid off and tell us. Don't give them anything. Fair. I think it was expected that he wasn't playing. Yeah, that's fair. When it makes sense, transparency and strategy is a good option. Laid outs give me anxiety. You prefer it now. Okay. Can we get BA footies? We can get BA footies. You reckon people would have been filthy on Sunday if it was announced? If you're good enough, you don't need to play silly mind games. Fair? You need a BA flag? Yeah. Feel like you need BA stress balls. That's actually not a bad idea. BA stickers. That's easily done. Yeah. Okay. What's my tip? I'm going to go with what Miller said on the fan cams last week, young Miller. She came in and I asked her what was going to happen, and she said Carlton by 19. But I do think the Saints are going to be giving us absolutely anything. My hope for the game is that we empty the tank this week. Everyone on the field, fully connected, emptying the tank. There will come a point in the game where, who's playing for more. I just can't see how we leave Marvel on Sunday and we say the Saints wanted it more. Like, that just can't be in a realm of possibility for me. That they'll play well. They're a good team in good form. I think they're better than what their position on the ladder suggest. Things have happened, and things do happen in footy, or maybe you just get what you deserve and they're exactly where they should be. But I do think having spent some time with Jake this year and doing footy abroad, I've watched the Saints closer than ever. And yeah, I think that they should be very disappointed with where they're at right now. But I do just think there'll come a point in the game, a critical moment where it's like, who wants it more? And I think it'll be us. I hope it'll be us. Let's see. Andy K, how do you become a member? You can become a member on YouTube. You just hit the join button. That's all you need to do. Post it on BA story. Hashtag free Aiden. If I made a flag, you could possibly get the cheer squad to use it. That's not a bad call. BA tissues. How have I not thought of BA tissues? Oh my God. That's unreal. Stress balls. BA footies. Yeah. BA mugs. There are BA mugs. They're on the shop. The BA shop. Definitely got mugs. A few of you have bought them. I'll show you. There's the link. Got 20 minutes until the teams come out. Where's the mugs? Yeah, I've got added a few new things. Towels. Yeah, the mugs are there. Ping pong balls. Can we get BA defibrillators? We can. Can we get BA vapes? Which opposition or player am I most worried about? Who do I rate the most from St Kilda? Wanganeen Millera or Bradley Hill. If I was picking who to tag, it would be probably one of those two. So Chincotta to go to one of those two. I think they are. I mean, not to say Steele is not dangerous or Sinclair's not dangerous, but I mean, I'm just one of the biggest fans of Nazaya Wanganeen Millera. Yeah, I'm a big fan. What about you? I actually, in a weird way, I like the Saints more than I ever have, just not this week. For those of you, this is the mug. It's here. It lives. It exists. See? BA ambulance memberships. Yeah, we'll get a sponsorship with 000. Any chance Ross doesn't let Freo in the 8? What about BA bobbleheads? Bobbleheads of some of the creators. That'd be interesting if we get our own bobbleheads. BA insurance. Yeah, okay, you're ahead of me. Richard, you were on one, mate. Nipple tassels. BA hat. Can do that. Do that. Heartburn tablets with BA stickers on the box. The BA hoodie is elite. It is elite. BA lawyers. Costas Ludas. I feel strange saying this. I'm kind of relieved Charlie isn't playing. Surely 1 week off wasn't going to be enough for an ankle injury, and his form wasn't great regardless. Yeah, look, it's a good point because all of a sudden, Charlie and Harry would have had 1, 2, 3 weeks rest. Is that right? If they were to play and we were to play in our first final and we make it, that would mean they get 3 games off. Sorry, 3 weeks off. So the West Coast game, the Saints game, the bye. Okay, so 3 weeks, which is solid. BA condoms, I don't know. I don't know if that's the industry I'm going to touch into. Ponchos is good. Bottle openers, they exist. Slobbo, they're on the shop. Check them out. BA Kool-Aid, BA beer. You can see the hunger in Cripper's eyes in that interview after the game. He will not let us down. Yeah. They are such a bogey side that if we play shit, we make them look like superstars. BA therapy vouchers. Will you all get therapy for free? That's the truth. We all get it. We all sit here. Eleanor, so you need to be on a computer or an Android phone, I've learnt. And there's a button that says join next to the subscribe button. I am actually going to change the memberships. The $3 ones will stay because then you'll get your emojis, but the $7 one and the $30 a month one, they're going to go sometime in the next couple of weeks. So yeah. Rod, channel's great. It's been great watching young Zach become a public speaker. Yeah, I think that the magic is that seeing people grow. Everyone, whether it's Zach or Paul or Pommy. I've loved seeing Jad. I'd love seeing his growth as well. Rocco from his kitchen into the studio. It's good. Marshall destroying Pitternet scares me. Well, I think that's one of the most... that's the critical matchup, isn't it? Yeah. Saints TV bobblehead. BA biscuit ass biscuits. Valium. I'm pretty sure I can get generic vitamins or relaxation tablets or capsules done and just brand them as, I don't know, BA Valium. Interesting. A Terry and Pom joint bobblehead. That'd be interesting. BA weekday jocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Where's game day? BA bracelets. Wow. Footy abroad bobbleheads would be elite. Rod, my pleasure, mate. You met Nick. Did you really? I didn't know that. That's the second couple that we've facilitated, unless I'm forgetting another couple. But Carls, I've forgotten this fact. I didn't know this. Wow. BA dingers, mate. It's their small man belief. It's never fair. Me. We need to change it. Everything to won't help us. Oh, this is the Saints mentality. TDK, would he come back? Hope so. A BA phone case on the website. Check it out. thebashop.com. Got them there. BA and Manscaped merch collab. A BA pregnancy test. Hey, Yasmin, welcome to YouTube memberships. Maz has gifted 5 YouTube memberships. If you received one of those 5, make sure you give Maz a shout out. We've got 13 minutes. 13 minutes to go. I'm catching up to your comments now. Here we go. Paul, this game is a chasm into both clubs and exactly what they stand for. One is playing to ruin a season with no relevance or bearing on their own season. The other is playing for someone. Roadblock FC. It's Baffs. Yeah. Yeah, Marils. Fade away. 12 minutes. 12 minutes to go. We're almost there. Oh, yeah. Costas received the tickets from Michelle. Michelle organized her interstate tickets for Costas and his family. So really well done. That was a really nice gesture. Thank you very much for that. A BA onesie. If we did the merch collab with Manscaped, you'd have what you need for Jake to shave his head. Just don't use it first. True. Fade away. What do I reckon? Well, let's get into it. Well, Sardi's in. Sard is in. I think that's going to be... Oh, will he play Fantasia? Oh, they might do Sard and Fantasia for Moya and Lord, or Moya and Carroll, potentially. I think Binns will, or with Binns. That's my guess. Oh, yes. Maz also has GA. You did tell me that, Maz. Oh, you know what? Somebody actually messaged me about tickets. Maz, I think I have someone here. I'll just message them now. Who's had an underrated season at Carlton? Oof. Underrated season? Matt Owies. I don't know if that's underrated, though. He's had a great season. I think Akers has had a pretty solid season as well. Danny, hey Tez, you cooked Jake in the preview. Oh, whatever. That was fun. That was a frustrating morning. Such a frustrating morning. BA coffee shop with $27 toasties. BA vibrator. BA COVID rapid tests. Jeez. Motlop sub. Cowan and Owies. Yeah. Who do you think, guys? Who's had underrated seasons? Yeah, this is a good shout. Cowan has had an underrated year. Ollie, good call. George Hewitt. Surely Carlton eventually let you in the rooms after the Saints do for Jake would be cool to see it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know why. Elijah Hollins. I got dwarfed by Pies footy. He's a big boy. Yeah, it's good. It's good to see some 6 foot and above content creators in the fold. It's great. We need to see Blue Abroad versus Saints TV real life footy game. Okay. Matt Kennedy has had an underrated year, probably because of how much he's had to just move around. Frio's confirmed interest in Jack Martin. Yeah. Interesting. What did you make of this, if anything? Speaking of Matt Kennedy, he's just... Oh, wow. He's actually just done an interview. Maybe we can listen to it. I didn't know this existed. Let's do that. One change from Paul Sebastiani. So that will be like Sard for someone. Okay. I kind of want to listen to what Matt Kennedy had to say. I'll pause this when the teams come out.
Let's get to our next guest because suddenly, I mean, he's always been an important player, but
is that Kane Corns?
Suddenly he's even more important for the Blues, who have a cutthroat game against St Kilda on Sunday. Matthew Kennedy is his name. Matty, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Swansea. Thanks for having me, fellas.
Geez, it was a mission when you went to Perth. I was like, how's this going to go? Eagles have been in good form at home. You had what I'm calling half a VFL side. You may not put it as bluntly as that, but I will. And you went with an absolute hit mission. You must have been really proud by that performance.
No, we were. I think, through the week, as with injuries and stuff like that, it presents opportunity. And I think the young fellas came in and played their role perfectly and brought so much energy. And I think, it was a real confidence win for us, and sort of we were able to get back to our brand, which was contest and pressure. It's amazing when you simplify footy, it can become a bit easier. And I think we found our formula again on the weekend.
Matt, Josh Gabelich here. Take us inside a road trip, because it feels like it arrived at just the right time, given what was on the line and given the youthful group that you took across, debutants, second gamer in Jackson Binns. What was the trip like?
I think I sort of touched on it before, but it was sort of just exciting, you know. I think travelling away, you're sort of forced to hang out and be closer to one another. And it gives us ability and opportunities to play cards and just little bonding things like that, hang around a bit more in the airports and things like that. I think that sort of led to on field. But I think we had a really good week leading up. We spoke about opportunity and the simplicity of just everyone playing their role. And if everyone has that mindset just to get their job done, then didn't matter who will taken over, we're good enough to get the job done. And I think that's what you're seeing was just a really connected team that was out there hungry for the contest, to want to, play their role and do the basics well. And, when everyone just goes in with that mindset, I think you get the performance which we did on the weekend. And it was great having these young fellas in just to see how excited they were. Sometimes when you're in the grind of footy, sometimes it becomes a little bit hard, but then you realise that it's a game and you want to enjoy it and how lucky we are to be playing the game. So I think these young kids like Ash, Cooper and Binzi, like you said, just to see how excited they were, it was nice and refreshing. And then the way they went about it, training and even game day, putting their head over the footy and win the hard balls, it was great to see.
We focused quite a bit last week on the two debutants in Cooper Lord and Ashton Moyer, but tell us about Jackson Binns, because Carlton supporters have been wanting to see more of this guy this year because his VFL form has been off the charts. What's he actually like?
Yeah, Binzi's a ripper. There's no secret to the way he's performing in VFL and the way he performed on the weekend. He's really professional. He works so hard on his craft during the week with Lukey Power and the development coaches. He's been playing a lot of consistent footy in the VFL and even trying to play a couple of different roles other than just wing. But there's no secret to why he comes in and plays the way he does, because the way he goes about it during the week training, obviously he's in really good form, and unfortunately he had to bide his time a bit and maybe wait for a few injuries, but it was great to see him make the most of his opportunity. And going forward, he's just going to work hard on his game, his craft, and he just wants to get better. And that's what you love to see in a young kid, because keeps us older boys in check and wanting to work hard on our craft as well.
Matty Kennedy is with us for the Blues. So 3 ins to that squad. They take on St Kilda on Sunday. They win. They are in. Sard, Curnow, Fantasia come into the squad. What about Charlie Curnow? I mean, it's probably a risk worth taking because season over if it doesn't go your way. But what sort of shape is he in, and has he trained much?
Yeah, he was on light duties there yesterday when we went in. But I think a few boys have a test tomorrow. So I think there's a bit of planning in place, but obviously, we know how important Charlie is for our team and our system. So to get him in would be absolutely awesome. But still got a few things for him to tick off before he gets the nod. But what you said, what an opportunity we have this weekend to be playing for a spot in finals. As a player, you want to be playing in these big games that mean a lot. So it's very exciting. And Cribber sort of touched on it after the game, what an opportunity we have. And let's really step into the week and not fear it.
So, I'm interested in that is your preparation. So you've probably got, look, I wouldn't play Sard myself, but 1 week hammy is unusual. And you mentioned Curnow, the question mark over McGovern and maybe a couple of others. But what about for your planning when you're not certain what the 22 is going to look like? You're a pretty experienced group and you've played in big games before, but does that disrupt things?
No, not at all. One thing Vossi's been in.
What an interesting question.
One thing he's been really strong on from the start was squad mentality and next man up, and the way we play, we're very role based. So as long as when you go out there, you know your role and you want to perform and make your teammate better and do the best you can for your teammate, get your role done, apply pressure and heat to the contest. It doesn't matter who we roll out there. We have complete confidence of who's picked to play on the weekend. We're good enough to go out there and get the job done because, as you said, we're a lot of men short on the weekend. I think there was 6 changes, and I think the whole playing group just felt so confident because there's so many good young boys in good form. It doesn't matter who's rolling out there. We're very confident that if we stick to our role, we'll get the job done.
Still no Harry Mackay, Matt, but we saw what Brody Kemp did in Perth last week. Did you see that coming? The way he performed as a key forward was quite amazing.
Yeah, Kempy is a funny one. Can overthink it at times, a big fella, but I think one thing we loved in his game, he obviously got reward with his 4 goals on the weekend, but through the review, we watched a lot of things, and he had a role on McGovern. I thought he was unbelievable in being able to bring the ball to ground. He applied a lot of pressure in our forward half, had 450 tackles, sorry, and was just able to apply heat and bring the ball to ground and to allow, other small forwards impact the game as well. So it was just a great mindset he had going into the game, and if he comes in with that same mindset again, if he plays forward or back, I'm sure he'll play a pivotal role for us this weekend.
Now, we saw Carlton get on a roll.
Just going to pause that there because we're moments away from teams, and I really want to get them up on screen. We are told that there is one change, and that is Sard for potentially Williams. So we'll see if that's official when that comes through. Costas also gifted 5 memberships on the channel. Very kind. Super kind. 1 minute. Slobbo just became a YouTube member. He's done it. Welcome, Slobbo. All right. Wow, that would be interesting if it was Williams out for Sard. I mean, it is what it is. It would be a no-risk policy. Didn't he cop a knock? I thought it was just a knock last week. How are we celebrating? We'll be here on the fan cams. That's what we'll be doing. So Sunday's going to be interesting because we'll be doing the fan cams while the Freo Port game is happening. So it'll become a fan cams / watch along. All right. Just waiting for these teams. Archo became a YouTube member. Welcome, Archo. I thought it was cramps as well. I didn't know. Oh, here we go, Aiden. Shocking communication by this club to not put him on the injury report. Absolutely shocking. Well, he's on the injury report now. I'm still waiting for these teams. The club will usually put out some sort of an article about it as well. So whether he's done it at training or whatever. Let's have a look. Lineups. Okay. Teams are in. It's official. It's official. There they are. We guessed right yesterday with Caminiti and Philippou. Sard is in for Zach Williams, takes his place on the half-back line. I do like it because it means we're going to get the half-back version of Sard, hopefully running and bouncing and being all dangerous. Wow. That means the kids are playing. It also means that, so you got Binns, Carroll, McGovern, and Moya with Lord as the final name there. Now, that has been the sub every week for a while. So that is one to watch. I just want to read through the Carlton website version because they've got to say something about Williams. Adam Sard makes his return to provide the Blues with some much added bounce across half-back. Sard returns in the lineup in place of Zach Williams. The forward hamstring tightness has been withdrawn from the squad after being unable to complete the club's main training session today. Williams and Charlie Curnow both come from the 26-man squad. They are replaced by Lemmy and Wilson as emergencies. They are joined by Orazio Fantasia. Binns, Carroll, Lord, McGovern, and Moya have been on the interchange. After being listed as tests, Durden, McGovern have been named to take on the Saints. So if we look at this, let's go back here. If we look at this, right, we get, well, not that. We look at this. Lemmy as an emergency, you would assume might be a contingency if McGovern doesn't get up because there was some doubt around McGovern. Orazio's there. Maybe if Durs doesn't get up, and then Billy Wilson is there. What are your thoughts about the team? Cooper Lord is a good sub. Mm-hmm. Saints are favourite all of a sudden. They are. They are the favourites in this game. I was surprised that they weren't favourite to start off with. I think their form has been better than ours. Oh, you can see my desk setup. You can. Oh, I forgot to film the video of it. My bad. I could show you, but it's just don't know if the I don't know if the cord will work here. At the end of the show, I'll do it. Just hang tight. Happy to be the underdog. I think it's the best side that we could go with. I like that we didn't make a lot of changes and we kept the kids. Wow, what an opportunity. These kids wait all year. These kids wait all year. And they get an opportunity to come in the second last game, and then they're playing in essentially a final. Regardless if he was tightness, cramp, or not, why didn't the club mention him in the injury report? Seriously. Are you really that mad? Are you really that mad about it? Like, really? The club lied to us about Williams. Pretty disappointing. Interesting. Where am I sitting? I am on level 2 this week. I'm excited. Chincotta to Sinclair. Question. Good question. Who would you tag? Who would you put Chincotta on? Chat. Who would it be? I personally think it would be Bradley Hill. Or Nazaya. Or Nazaya Wanganeen-Millera. But they've named him in the back pocket, so I don't know if that means anything, but those are the two names there for me. Wanganeen-Millera and Brad Hill. They're the ones that I think need some attention. Glad we are not favourites. The club lied to St Kilda. Yeah. The odds completely swapped. I'm not much of a punter, but the odds were the same in Carlton's favour 10 minutes ago. Chincotta and Sinclair. You think Higgins? Chink on Higgins. Just keep him quiet. True. Cowan's the other one that'll get a lockdown role, you would think. Question is, is it Lewis Young on Tim Membry? It's a big job. Chincotta to Wanganeen. There's every right to be frustrated with it. Just disappointing, really. Well, Aiden, mate, if you want to be disappointed and frustrated, mate, go right ahead. The reality is we've got to win on Sunday. That's the main focus. I don't think that the Williams news impacts our excitement. He was always sore, wasn't he? He was always sore. You can bet Steele will be on Cripps. No way we're worried about Higgins. Higgins has kicked 35 odd goals this year. Solid player. Motlop has to lift. He does. He does need to lift. Sam Walsh is good for a goal this week. I don't know why. I feel it in my bones. You like the team. If Gov goes off injured, you have Chincotta that can go fill a spot, or even Zach Williams. Well, not Zach Williams anymore. If Lemmy plays, he goes to defense. Kemp stays forward. So you'd have Wiedering, Young, and Lemmy in that case. Moya has to start on the field with Zach out. It's not a bad point. Well, he'll looks like he's on the bench here. Interesting. Not worried about Snags, although he definitely will be making my heart pump 1,000 minutes per second. BOG. Oof. Wheat on Membry, Young on Filippo. Just looking at the Saints forward line, it's like Membry's the key target. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Young on Membry to start, personally. And then having Wiedering play a little loose, playing to his strengths. Would love to see Moya get a full game. Same. Our only concern is stopping them from D50. Yeah, that's where this guy here, Wanganeen Millera, he's got it all. He's got the full package. He's got the profile of the player that hurts us. Mitch Owens is pretty good. He's okay. I've had him in my fantasy dynasty, my fantasy draft team this year. So, yeah. I've been frustrated with him all year. But that's from a fantasy point of view. He's actually been okay the last few weeks. Fun fact, St Kilda is the #1 scoring team from back half. If we thought Hawthorn kick from their D50 to their forward line was bad, they're going to be doing it a lot. It's a good point. What if we put Chincotta on Nazaya Wanganeen Millera? Could happen. Yeah. I'm just ready for the game now. Got closure. This is who's in. This is who's out. We've got a pretty strong back line with these players. Midfield solid. Hollands, Cripps, Akers with Pitto, Walsh and Hewitt. Forward line is dynamic, but so is the Saints. That's not their first choice forward line. Like, look at that. What an interesting game. Got our umpires and we're good to go. So, let's take a look. This is where we landed the other day. No, we did like this. Also, what did you make of the rescheduling of the games? What a fascinating story. Like there wasn't already enough drama for the round. The union action forced rescheduling of games the day before the last round of the season. Maddie, such a crucial game for midfield. Cripps, Walsh, Hollands brothers all need to go Super Saiyan. Hey, yeah, if you are watching, hit the like button. It helps spread the awareness of the channel to other people who are on YouTube who may be interested in Carlton content. It would be a massive help. And also, before you leave, another reminder, what really this is all about. What it's all about is that this is not our last team show. This is not the last time we will be sitting here on a Thursday or a Friday doing teams. So, a signed Charlie Curnow Guernsey is up for grabs. The link to enter the raffle is in the live chat at the top. There it is there. This was gifted this week. Very generous Carlton man gifted this to the channel. This will be drawn out the next team's show in a couple of weeks. I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to create here. The whole message is that this is not the final team's show of the year. So get your ticket. We're going to draw it out on this team show when we do the final teams for the next game. That's what we're going to do. I don't know how many times I can look at this, but the formula is really simple. Just win. Just win. Win and we're in. What I actually think we should do is this. I want to see the other teams. Some of you asked some questions about that yesterday. What did they end up doing? Okay. What did they end up doing with the other games? Carlton, okay, Fremantle. Banfield out, Walters in, Georgiadis and McEntee in for Port, Houston and Narkle. Ollie Wines is 250th. Okay, there you go. There you go. And this was the other match. 3:20, 6:10, and the 12:30. Oh, yeah. Lockie Ash, Harvey Thomas. Tim English is in with Jones for Riley West and Buku Kamas. Okay. That's going to be an ugly matchup in the rain, apparently. Yeah. If McGovern is a laid out, that means Lemmy will be put in. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Kemp would need to go back. I think you could play Kemp with Lemmy in the forward line, and you can still have Lewis Young and Jacob Wiedering in the back line. You then have Lockie Cowan stepping up to play the McGovern role. Yeah. I mean, the reason why I say that is because you like they don't have tall forwards, the Saints. They've got mobile forwards. Mitch Owens, mobile. Mateus, mobile. Bradley Hill. I mean, that's a wing half forward rotation. Jack Higgins, small forward. Cooper Sharman. I mean, he's a mobile player. Tim Membry's the only key forward, unless I'm seeing this wrong. Like, Tim Membry's the one that either Wiedering or Young takes. I want McGovern to play. Oh, okay, Marshall. Okay, fair. But who would then ruck in that scenario? Because they usually have... Well, they didn't bring in Jack Hayes. Caminiti is the guy that plays the second ruck for them. He's out. So what are they going to put? Oh, they do Mitch Owens. They do Mitch Owens at time. They used to do Mitch Owens in the ruck. So that's kind of like a Matt Kennedy in the ruck. Would you play Wilson? I don't know. I don't know if Wilson's ready. Who knows, though? Said that last week, and look at how they all went, these kids. Get the feeling that if Wilson was playing, they would have announced it, given him the moment. I don't know. Danny, you drove past Icon yesterday and you felt tightness in your hamstring. Foxwood. Mason Wood and Owens take some of the ruck duties. Okay. God, it's a big day for Mark Pitternet. Just to halve the contest, just to be a body. Because Marshall's going to be super motivated, even individually, for the All-Australian ruck position. There's no doubt he'd be thinking about that. Oh, if Gov came out, I see what you're saying. Yeah, maybe. All right, let's do predictions. Let's finish up. Let's do some predictions for Sunday. How is it going to play out? How is it going to play out? Give me a storyline for the game and how it plays out. I got Sam Walsh returning to Gary Ayres medalist form. The hair's going to be a little bit longer. He's going to kick 2. He's going to have about 35. And the Blues will win. We'll pull away hopefully late. And the Raw, when that final siren goes, is going to be one of the more special ones because it'll be full of frustration because we feel like we shouldn't be in this position, but we got in this position and then we still had to qualify. That's what's me. Blues by 19, Kemp to kick 4, Cripps 35 and 2. Blues by 3. Kate, you just got your raffle tickets. Fantastic. Good luck. Even at quarter time, blitz him in quarter 2, win by 27. No idea. Less than 3 goals. Cripps gets the 3 votes. Minute by minute. Amen. Carlton in finals, 7th heaven. Kemp to kick 6. Blues by 21. Moya kicks 4. Cripps 35 plus. Blues by 19. Cowan rising star. Don't mind it. A Matt Kennedy masterclass. Blues by 10. Close all the way last quarter, blitz by the Blues to win by 4 goals. Oh, wow. 3-quarter time, and it's a close game. How exciting. Shane, you think if Gubby's out, Fantasia will be in a sub, Cam kicks another 4, Moya a second nomination for Goldie after we smack the Saints. Blues by 1. Gov will be a late out, says Chef Jack. We have more than enough quality in this team to beat them. Blues by 28. Nicolas Georgiou prediction. Durden, always Motlop turn into our elite Mozzie fleet and step up. Cripper to clinch finals and a second Brownlow with another captain's performance. Chichio, hate to be negative, but I think we get murdered. Hope I'm wrong. It's all right, mate. If that's how you think, that's what you think. Blues by 9 points after a hard tussle all day. Carlton hold on after being ahead halftime. Bang on, gutsy win. Dow scores an own goal. Baggers win by 1. Yeah, I don't know if the court is gonna. I don't know if this court is actually gonna hold up, but to give you a bit of a glimpse into the setup. Oh, now you're coming with me on a journey. All right, this is what it looks like. Got one screen there, one screen there. We've got all this. I've got a couple of Guernseys there. I've got the Mitch McGovern part of his boot signed. And that's BAHQ. Oh. There you go. You happy now? Got the Jordan poster there. That's a print. I got that. I got that from Iconic. And I got the rug, which is nailed to the wall, which needs to be sorted when I move out of here eventually. No Stream Deck. No, I don't use a Stream Deck. Not yet. Jake became a member. Jake Holler became a YouTube member. Welcome. No Valencia. We get absolutely dismantled. Freo lose to Port. We make the 8. Final start. We get our core team back. We pull a 2016 Bulldogs and win the flag. Look, Freo do remind me of us a lot in 2022. And they've lost their last 3. I really don't want to be sitting here watching. We'll be sitting here after a loss, watching Fremantle, doing a watch along, like my first watch along, watching Fremantle and Port Adelaide. That'd be torture. That is very much a possibility. Lucinda, Carlton victorious in their own right. Statement win, whereby a tight contest with a win by a poetic 17 or back up round 23 and win by 40 plus. End of the day, it only needs to be a solitary point. It's true. You're welcome, Slobbo. What camera? I have the Sony. I think it's the ZV-E10 software. I use StreamYard. It's a website. Been using it for 5 years. Yeah. StreamYard's good for fan cams because you can bring in the guests and you've got the links. I live with my housemate. I met him in a nightclub in Tel Aviv. First question I asked him was, who do you go for in the footy? He said Carlton. Now we live together. It's a fascinating story. Anyway, Carlton by 52. Carlton by 100. Do I still hit up Revs? Nah, not anymore. In another life, but not anymore. Like to think I've grown up now. Housemate Carlton people, if he hasn't read, we've done one. We've done one. He's one of his favorite players was Lockie O'Brien, which we have a bit of a laugh at now because Lockie O'Brien's no longer on the list. Yeah. Imagine smashing the Saints. I can't see us smashing the Saints. I'd love to see it. I don't. It would be a shock. I mean, last week was a shock to me. This week would be even more of a shock if we just comfortably did the job. Danny, Carlton by 24, Kemp scores 3, Kennedy 2, Elijah 3, Owies 3, Cripps 1, Walsh 1. Yeah. Scotty, if I go to the Revs now, I should still be up for Sunday's game. Have a crack, mate. Sandra, you watch. That's exactly right. My prediction is Carlton by 19. Yeah. Purely because that's what Miller said. Purely because that's what Miller said on the fan cams last week. I think it's just going to be an uncomfortable, tight game. If we lose and get in due to Freo loss, not happy, but I'll take it. Any finals appearances for our players is a positive. Few players back and we go on to play a grand final. Oh, that'd be such an emotionally traumatic experience to sit here after losing to the Saints and then watch Freo lose potentially and then be in and then end up going all the way and winning the flag. It'll just, hate to say it, but it's very Carlton. It would be very Carlton. If we're up by 4 goals at 3/4 time, PTSD is going to give me a heart attack. Well, that's when you've got to overcome it. I don't think we'll be watching the Freo Port game during the fan cams. Maybe catch the first, but the game has been pushed back. Has it? Has it really? I thought it was just the Richmond game and... Yeah, so Freo Port is at 6:10. The Carlton game is at 3:20. I will probably be back here starting the fan cams at like 6 o'clock, maybe even 6:15, right as the Freo game starts. Mate, that's a 3-hour session for fan cams. Easy money. Easy. We'll be doing the whole watch along while doing fan cams. Fascinating. Yeah, I thought so. I think this will be a professional game. All week, most of us are nervous, but I'm pumped. Yeah, I mean, it is going to be nerve-wracking. Anyway, guys, there is your team show. There is your final team show for round 24. It is not the final team show for 2024. We still have a signed Charlie Curnow Guernsey to give away on the next installment of this show. So make sure you get your raffle ticket. Link is in the live chat, pinned to the top. It was Sard for Zach Williams for the Blues. McGovern's in. There's probably going to be fitness tests up until Sunday. There's going to be twists and turns. It's going to be uncomfortable, but we're going to be there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to Mr. Cabinets for sponsoring the show. I promise you, this is not the last team show. It just can't be. This is not how it ends. See you all on Sunday. Go Blues.